Welcome back everyone, let's play Decisive Campaigns, Barbarossa, episode number 6. Alright, so turn 3, army group south, then we end the turn after the decisions. We're going to start on the Romanian front. As usual, I'll try to plan out what we're doing ahead of time so we can make this as quick as possible. I saw, yeah, this is at 72, so that might be... Okay, it is dropping. It seemed like it was too high. It should be like 63 or something like that. I mean, that's what my units are at, and this is a weaker Soviet infantry, right? So anyway, we can push these units pretty far. In fact, this one can go all the way... Oh, there we go. We actually have... This is now officially a pocket. But what I saw is that we can get here with this unit. The Romanian unit can't get that far, but it can get adjacent to the cav. And we can do a 4-unit, 3-sided attack on this cav out in the open. It has 86 readiness, so it's not, readiness is not that low, but it's only at 38 combat strength, so we should just obliterate it, especially with the 20% concentric bonus. This is kind of what I was expecting to happen. So we didn't take any casualties, and we eliminated 2,600. That went very nicely. So we'll probably move... Actually, I'll move my German infantry in, and also the other Romanian infantry. And look at that. A pocket, and we're starting to close it in. So I don't think that we're going to do the attack against this unit because... Oh, now it's down to 61. This is a little more reasonable. Who all can attack? Only 2 units. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I don't expect that they'll attack into the mountains. That would be a little bit extreme. Near-term plans for 4th Romanian Army is close off this pocket. And then after that, more medium-term plans, is to go and siege Odessa. That's kind of exciting. We can jump on that a little bit early. Alright, the first armored over here. Well, I was doing some like guesstimating, and it looks like 3 hexes is the amount of radius that your units can detect that there is any kind of unit at all. That's probably not true in cities and mountains and all that, which have hide points. But 3 hexes from this unit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we should be able to get here no problem. We can do it a little bit more conservatively. I'm not sure. Maybe I want to move here even. So I do want to box off. What if I do this? What if I... Okay, let's go here. That's good. We've gotten a little more of the road. And I know I want to make sure that we take this hex too, because I don't want them retreating across the river. And I also have kind of a bold idea. So this... The 3rd Romanians, I scoffed at this, but the 3rd Romanian, some of their units... Oh, no, it's the 11th Army. So the 11th Army has additional movement points for some of them. And those... It should be able to give us the ability to get into the mountain, especially with this infantry directly. So what I'm going to try to do here is take you... Yeah, you, and attack this unit with my 2 units. Now, these are 2 very depleted armored divisions. I mean, you wouldn't be able to call them an armored division at this point, but the tattered remains of them. So hopefully we can just get in there, and I was hoping to shatter one. That's a little bit disappointing. We took 200 losses. We inflicted some casualties. Look, I've seen the casualties. I've read the comments about people saying that I've taken too many. Yeah, I think for all those reasons, I agree, by the way. We have taken quite a few casualties. Trying to minimize casualties, but we think that it would behoove us to do a follow-up attack here, because we should be able to shatter these guys. 1 down, 1 not. We didn't take any additional casualties, so I'm going to go ahead and accept that. At least one of them is down, and we probably are going to want to move in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we will still be in range, and even the 11th Army can move. I don't know if they need to move forward, but they could. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're within 4 of the 1st Armored. You are probably going to do the attack against this unit. I think one of my units, yeah, this one, can only move across the river. Now, moving across the river takes like, I think, 20 additional movement points or action points. So it is still useful to just do that on this turn so that that unit, when it has all its action points next turn, can be a little bit more helpful. But the point of it here is I'm not sure, by the way, if there is any enemy I guess there can't be any enemy units close enough. If I can grab this zone of control, then, because I knew I wanted to come here. If I got this, which I did, And this other unit, the 46 one, can punch in over here. That's great. Yeah, I think we'll do it this way. We're gonna jump over there and boom, we got it. We got another pocket. So this is 2 motorized and 1 infantry and 1 armored. So basically a whole bunch of their armored type divisions are in peril of being lost. Now you'll probably see this the same way I'm seeing it, that we have kind of a problem here. We don't have any way, I mean, we need to make sure we push this motorized out, because otherwise, in theory, he could just run amok behind my lines. Now, we do have a good surround. Concentric bonus, 50%. We're attacking over the river for 2 of our infantry, but 2 of ours are not. And we need to do this to also push this unit back. This is 1 very weak armored division, and again, like a half-strength infantry division, which is actually a cav. Let's see how we do here. Okay, I would say that that went very well. We took 600 losses, only inflicted 1,000. I don't know why, these cav, they always give me a hard time. Now, this unit, yeah, we need them against the motorized more than we need them anywhere else, so we're going to move him up, but then pretty much immediately back down so he can help here. I think it is time at this point for us to do the attack against the weakened units over, I mean, the 1 weakened unit and 1 fully intact unit. And what we can do, shoot, you know what, it might be even better if we do this. Yeah, what I think I'm gonna do is move this unit in here. And there we go, that unit can do a follow-up though. Yeah, I might want to move it if we do this. Right, let me do this. Okay, so I'm gonna move over here. We're gonna do the attack from 1, 2, 3, and the most depleted one, which is the 55. Okay, do this attack. 4 sides of attack. He probably is gonna move back into this hex, but hopefully he moves to the north. Calling an audible here. This was not my plan, but okay, 2,400. The more important, I mean, we only took 200 casualties. That's a high priority this turn to start making back up numbers for those casualties. But the more important question is, where is he moving back? Oh, thank God, he moved back here. So the reason why is he's not here, and I do have this unit. We can actually do an attack from 2 sides, which, you know, doesn't mean a whole lot, maybe. 1, 2, 3. Now, we are over the attack stack limit, which I don't like, but we got that 10% concentric bonus. And these guys can't be pushed across the river, because we already took that over. You know, they're boxed in. The more damage we do here, the better, just so that they do not have enough action points in their next turn to get across the river just by movement. Let's see how this goes. Oh boy, we're taking some casualties. So that's 1,000 people down, and we only inflicted 2,000 casualties. Well, yeah, and of course the T-34s, those slippery buggers, weren't any of the casualties either. But that's fine. I mean, it's good. Oh, we could actually do a follow-up attack. Is that true for anybody else? Well, yeah, you'll move there because... Interesting. So 2 units could do a follow-up attack, and it would be against a very weak armor and a kind of depleted infantry, which is at 26 readiness. We're at 51. We're at 74 with this guy. Oh, and 59. Okay, so the 51 can't do another attack. So it's 59 and 74. And we do have a benefit on the attack, but again, I don't want to take too many casualties. Did we do enough? Did we do enough? I guess that's the question. To warrant a follow-up attack. I mean, this is one way we'll definitely... Oh, the armor from across the river? No, I don't think I can afford that from a fuel standpoint, so it would have to be like this. It's 138 versus 70. That doesn't bode well. It's only 2 to 1. Typically, that's not the kind of odds you want. You You want 3-1. And, you know, whatever they do next turn, I'm just going to hope that they can't get across the river and then we can do like a massive attack. I don't know. You know what? It's tough. I'm not going to do the attack, though, to cut back on casualties a little bit. So that means I think we're done with all the stuff we want to do this turn. I mean, the only other thing we could do is... No, we can't. I was thinking we could do a follow-up attack on this unit, but they have 2 motorized there. We don't want to. And the main agenda item for Army Group South in this turn anyway was to make sure we do capture Lvov. So it's nice that we made a little bit of progress along the Romanian front, but this is where the real stuff's going to happen. I'm going to push this unit, just slowly push the Soviet borders back from the mountains. It's just kind of a little annoying to me that you're going to have this Soviet force, Soviet-like borders. I don't like to see it, but it's there. We're probably not going to push the armor any further. I want 1st Panzer Group to consolidate north of the river. I mean, this area south of the river is basically, if the Soviets stay there, a free pocket for me. So I don't want to use my armored to try to push people out of there. I'd much rather get all the armored consolidated so we can do something like surrounds, create some new pockets. Anyways, the first order of business though is we need to take Lvov. What I'd like to do is try to get infantry attacking as much as possible. So I'm shifting some forces around, and I think one of you guys is moving here as well. So what I have right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then everyone in here can do the attack as well, which is just 2 people for now. And we have 461 out of 600, which means we can probably move 2 more units in. I'll just take whoever the best units are. And I think it's this one, 68, so we'll move this one in. That should be 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so there's nobody who could replace, no infantry could replace the southeast, could get there. So the SS are going to have to attack. And we're just a little bit over our attack stack limit, but I think that that's okay. I think that actually after you take casualties, it is. I'm not sure about this, but I think it's recalculated so that you are no longer over the attack stack. And anyways, we have our 100% concentric bonus, but they are dug in. You can see that they have like... their headquarters is at 200. That one's only at 93 in weak. But their garrison, which is I think like 10,000 or 20,000, maybe it's like 20,000 Soviet infantry. Just a crazy amount of infantry, and they're all sitting at 200 entrenchment. So we're barely nibbling away at that by having the concentric bonus. Anyways, we do overwhelm them, so let's just hope that this goes well. Oh my god! Oh! Wow, we barely made it. Holy cow. I mean, this went 13 rounds. I don't even know what the movement points left, action points left for the SS is. Everyone else is completely depleted. We took 1,600 casualties. I think that's an acceptable range. Of course, I prefer less, but yeah, they just held out a lot better than I expected them to. Nonetheless, all 30,000 of them have been eliminated, and that is the last of the major pockets for now. Yeah, that's so... Man, the SS only has 40 action points remaining. They basically can't do anything. All they can do is move here. Unfortunately, that also was taking fuel for all those rounds. A lot of fuel. So I'll move here, because this is what I'm really interested in. Tarnopol doesn't appear to have anybody. Now, Rovno doesn't appear to have anyone either, so let's maybe work on the top. Again, this 3-hex thing, it doesn't apply for towns. Because move up here just to get a little more territory, then move back down, move there. Yeah, because, I mean, you can see it here. Yeah, this unit's a good one. Okay, now we actually have Rovno, and we know that they have a garrison. So this was 1, 2, 3 units. 2 units within 2 hexes, and I have 2 units within 2 hexes. I think that they actually don't have anybody here. So then the plan of action for us is going to be put some units in there. I mean, put some units over here. Do we have anybody who can attack from the south? Maybe a Panzer? Can you? 60. You could. I did say I want to consolidate. Oh, what about this one? 60. Well, let's do this one. And that's 2 Panzers. And we're going to want motorized for sure. But this guy... Okay, we're just below the attack stack limit. I take that as a good omen. Let's go ahead and do this. Well, wasn't the greatest start there. Had a bad first round. 1 Panzer II, 1 Panzer III. But we eliminated almost 5,000 Soviet infantry. And the readiness is down to 19. That's, I would call this an acceptable amount of losses. The good news is we can push in and we can actually do a follow-up attack. Now, I don't know how or why this happened. I did attack with 2 units from the north and 1 from the south, hoping that they would be pushed not into Tarnopol, because obviously they have better defensive bonuses in there. Nonetheless, I do have the ability... Let's put this one here. Yeah, there's the motorized. I can actually get my motorized to help out. So let's just do an attack with both my motorized and see how that goes. Honestly, we could even follow up if we wanted with... No, let's not. Because, I want to try not to do too many attacks with the Panzer Group, use them for surrounds. This is a necessary evil. The readiness of this Soviet unit is down to 19, so they shouldn't be able to do too much damage back. Okay, that was... I mean, hey, it was free, right? Not in terms of fuel, but we did take out another 1,800. The readiness is down to 5. Wow, they only have 3,400 units left, too. Can we get another one in there? Yeah, so that unit only has 36 points left. But you still have 45 action points. I'm going to do one more attack. 890 fuel, I think we have enough. This is going to take probably like 300. 892, let's just use this as a test. So first of all, a normal hex movement would be 90. So 892, let's see how much it is. We did take more, we did take any, we did the. I was expecting much better results. Our readiness was 71, theirs was 5. And they still managed to inflict 1 to 4 in terms of casualties. I mean, that's great for them. Normally 4 to 1 is good, but not when they are sitting at like no readiness. I think that their combat, so I think that the combat roll is multiplied by your readiness. So basically by 0.05 in this case. And yet they still did get lucky. Okay, so we pushed them back one more too. I guess you can think of it that way, that at least we pushed them back. Gathered a little bit more territory, putting a little bit more... I mean, this is kind of crazy. In fact, we got to make sure my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... My HQ is actually in range of this guy. He's so far... It's great when they get that far, right? Because it means you're making progress, but... Okay, so 896, that took about 160 or so. So double what it was to move. It was like 90... 180, yeah. So that's... Wasn't quite 180, but something around there, right? 896. Yeah, it's 150. I mean, it's exactly 150. I don't know why it's weird, because it's 90 to move. I wonder how they get that, but it doesn't matter. Got our line set up. We probably should move forces. Yeah, fuel is definitely becoming a concern, but I want to put my forces up against the front, if at all possible, so that we're ready next turn to do some more stuff. In fact, although we only have 658 left, and I don't think there's anybody else we can move forward anyway at this point, but it might be interesting to do an attack. We do have some forces like this. We'll move them up, sure. This cav, we'll just move down here. 6th Army can't move because they actually have to keep this guy in supply, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. So unless we want to move into the forest, which I don't want to do. That guy can go all the way over there. It's kind of crazy. I'll probably just move this guy in here. Yeah, but we do have another unit. Yeah, so that's what I was going to show is we could, in theory, do an attack with 1, 2, 3. 2 of these units only have 40 action points, so they're not going to be able to stick around for very long, but the armor is definitely going to carry the day, especially because this is actually a very fresh armor unit. Do I want to do that, though? In theory, the infantry should buffer for the armor. But where does that get us? I don't think it really gets us any closer to our goal. I mean, for all I know, our best course of action may even be to try to do a surround all the way around Rovno. And by the way, just kudos to our team, our little virtual chits here, for conquering Tarnopol. I mean, we should take that. We got Lvov as well. I mean, this is great. So let's, at least we can start moving these guys forward. Anybody who can, probably nobody can do anything but just move in. And this unit might actually be one of the ones who I send south. Not this one, so move you there, I think. Can I get these guys across the river, especially the 42s and the 46s. Those guys are going down there. I think that, so you can move here, or the 64 can move one hex further on the 66. So we have 4 units down here. Is that sufficient? That might already be sufficient, in which case I can move all these guys. Okay, what about you? Oh, okay, I'll put them in the mountains just for fun. Yeah, 95 versus 70. I think we'll do this. We're in pretty good shape for next turn. Don't want to do that. Again, just keep the infantry moving forward to support, right? I think that is our turn. I think we're done now. So, let's see. I guess we're going to have to see what the Soviets do. If they don't pull back strongly from the Rovno area, it's a pretty natural course of action that we just move. Well, we can push this unit back. It's basically dead. Even if it doesn't stick around, that's fine. It's a very depleted force anyway. But if it does, we can probably eliminate it and then move north to the swamp, which will effectively, with the infantry being able to close on the top, will create a new pocket. That'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry and 1 army headquarters. Which I'll take. I mean, again, just eliminate as much as we can. Grab, so that we make our lives a lot easier further down the road. That's the goal. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of committing to not doing this attack. It is further that they have to travel next turn if we don't do it this turn, because they'll have to move back. Otherwise, we'll be pushing them back ourselves. So there we go. And I think that we are ready to end the turn. Well, before ending the turn, we have to go through some decisions. Synthetic oil production, we would like this. Okay, this is going to take 15 turns, so might as well be the end of the war. Russian oil, we'll take that too. So it actually does have a negative side that if we take it, the Luftwaffe has a negative, but... So unexpected fuel use is about our Blitzkrieg fuel. It's not a good decision, but this lays it out for us. Basically, right now we spend 2,000 fuel per panzer group per turn in order to have our Blitzkrieg posture, which gives us the plus 50% bonus to attack, minus 25% on the defense. This is going to make it more expensive to maintain the 50%, 25 instead of 2,000, or it's going to charge us the same for a decrease in our bonus. So 2,000 is what we pay now, and we'd only get 40% of a bonus now. Or, and this is the one I think you can kind of try to silver lining, this option reduces our bonus from 50% to 30%. But it also cuts down the fuel needed from 2,000 to 1,500. And because fuel has been just every turn a problem, this is the one we're going to have to choose. It's not a good decision. We're not happy about this. Whoops. But we're going with it anyway. And at least Wagner was happy about that. Signaling, this is for Army Group Center, so lowest priority. But this is a train-related one. We're going to say here, leave it to the Eisenbuncher, because this other ones just take too many political points. We didn't get lucky. We're just gonna have to take the effort there. We'll try to get more lucky with South, and this one we can do. Why bother with the signals? Because the political point cost is reduced to 0, so I don't feel bad about doing it. Well, not bad. We got a good relationship. Rolls on this at least. Gurkha's only -7, and Keitel, who's just been really not happy with us lately. I don't think it matters if he doesn't like us though. Anyways, he was just tickled pink by this decision. Really happy. Security divisions is always good because then we have a chance to basically be better friends with somebody. This will probably eventually come back to bite us in the bum, but at least we can get better relationship with Von Bach in the meantime. Yeah, up to good. Quite a nice one. This will take 32. Good lord. I don't even want to know how long it's going to take. Anyway, poor performance. We're going to try some electroshock therapy here. 8 points. My god, we're getting down there, aren't we? But sometimes it works. Not this time. Okay, division commendation. That's fine. We'll just keep rolling with this. This is for 3rd Panzer Group, 2nd Panzer Group, 3rd Panzer Division. Let's go scout them out. I think we know where they are, more or less. That's, of course, it must be Guderian's division. There's 3rd Panzer Group. So you can see that they are all 80% minus 25%. If we go to this decision now, we can accept it, and it should give them a bonus. Now, it takes 6 political points, especially because, damn it, of course, it's always Hitler's last priority for the ones I want to do. It's going to take us down to a very, very not good 21 political points, but I just can't not take a permanent bonus to this unit for the rest of the game. This early on, I feel like it's so useful, and it's even useful later. It didn't work. Where is it? Okay, yeah, it went to the... So it's the 10th Panzer Division. I don't think I read it wrong, right? Game bug, I guess, but it doesn't matter. 10th Panzer Division got the reward. And the last decision we could make, but we won't, is that we could relocate the base. Now, right now, our base is in Warsaw, and we don't want it to move, because if it moves to Grodno, it will be closer for the 2nd Panzer Group, 3rd Panzer Group, but it'll be further for the 2nd Panzer Group. The truck is, instead of going from Warsaw to Grodno, and then Warsaw up this way, it's going to go from Grodno to, 3rd Panzer Group very close. And then the other one, it's going to have to take this road all the way around anyway. So it's just not worth the loss, the delay to do the move. We'll do it when we can take Minsk. Well, time to end the turn. I'm going to do this real fast. Just make it a little easier. Don't move. And, oops, off we go. Okay, here we go. We're off. We are being attacked. Attacker was victorious. So that's the first battle we've lost. Defender stood firm in that one. Looks like they're pulling back by Minsk. Okay, pulling back in the north. Actually, it seems like they're giving us a fair amount of space in the north. Okay, pulling back also in the south. Pulling back everywhere. This is not unexpected. Oh wow, Minsk is actually, they've like cleared the way for Minsk. Okay, they did get into that pocket in the south, north of Krishnaya that we finally pocketed, that little 2-division force, or 5-division anyway. North, pulling back, okay, yeah, same old, lots of withdrawals. Okay, General von Tomwa reports on his tour to the front of 3rd Panzergruppe, very tough fighting with Russians. Only a few prisoners are taken. In the, in the center we're going to have 3rd and 4th armies with some bonus, and in the south and with Rundstedt we get the 17th Army. 17th Army is a very good one to get. So that's good to see. Looks like we've got a few divisions failed to deploy, and we have some withdrawals. Still haven't used our siege artillery, but whatever. Fuel looks okay. Ugh, those 74%. Ugh. Let's start off with the statistics, because I think this is remarkable, truly remarkable, how many Soviet forces have been eliminated. I'll show that one, the casualties, in a second, but even just look at the total troops remaining. They started with about 50% more troops than us, and we've already brought that about to parity. I don't know how else to say it. It's truly remarkable. It's like awful from the perspective that it fills me with awe. It's pretty impressive, I think, that we've gone that crazy. And so the casualties for this turn is just so high for the Soviets. The highest I've ever seen. In my other couple of playthroughs I've done, definitely never accomplished anything like this. Now, it bears repeating, though, that the German losses are also about proportionally higher in the same manner. Maybe this is like 50% more, and I think this German casualties are also 50% more. You saw that in Finnish Jaeger's little plot last time. By the way, just a note, if anybody's interested, I'm going to try to compile several of these plots, at least for the first like 10 turns or so. Go on my Discord, send me a message in other games. I was just mentioning this. And I'll just accrue, I could take a screenshot of this and like send a CSV with like the turn and the Soviet casualties, German casualties. We'll put them all into a big plot and compare. It'll be fun. And then I can show that in one of the future episodes. Anyway, this breaks down every single thing. You can see like how are Panzer III's doing? Well, we've lost quite a few of them. How's the total? Well, it's going down. Not surprising, but it's cool. You can look at all these stats. I won't do it here, but if we wanted to, we could. Let's also jump into the history, just so we can see exactly what's happening. And just a note, I've actually done this twice already. The first time I was trying to record. Okay, so our HQ movements are first. Their HQ movements. First time I tried to record, I was in Rule the Waves mode, which only captures, like half the screen. So it was good too. I had some good results, but that's all gone by the wayside because I had to toss it out since I really wanted to keep it, but it was so annoying even to me rewatching it that most of the screen was cut off, and I did talk about things outside the window of recording. So anyway, Daugaspils, what the hell? Duneberg. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of this for a second, but yeah, Duneberg. They do pull back pretty significantly by Duneberg. I don't know I'm not even sure why this is called Daugaspils. Is that the Soviet name for it? I mean, Russian name? I'm not sure. Okay, and then there's the big attack. This is the big one. I think I would liken this somewhat. I mean, as a joke, I could say this is somewhat like the Destroyers of my Rule the Waves series. Some of you may die, and that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. But this was, I think, despite the fact that we got just slammed, this poor motorized is down to... Well, I mean, it took 1,000 casualties here, but it lost all of its 37mm anti-tank guns, 2/3 of its 105mm artillery, 1/3 of its 50mm anti-tank. It really got hammered. And replacements in this won't come until turn 10, so we have to wait, like another 5 turns. So that poor motorized is going to be limping around, probably better at taking territory than fighting at this point. Anyway, I think it was still a good move. I mean, maybe not... If I could have gotten somebody in there who would defend better and who would have held this attack, that would have obviously been much better. But the fact that this result happened, if we take aside the opportunity cost of having somebody else who would have defended better, it's still better for them to have to attack somebody here than to just freely move. The cutoff was good because it drew their attention here. They had to do an attack here, which wastes their action points. So we kind of locked them up, and we're going to see as this advances. Again, this is round 3 for me. It's so frustrating. The second time I recorded in Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa capture mode, and I recorded muted. So frustrating. Okay, the second attack. This one went okay for us. I mean, I would say it went well enough. It was about 3-to-1 in odds, and that's kind of odds I like to see even... Well, I like to see better than that, but those are not terribly disappointing odds on the offensive, so they're not that bad on the defensive either. Okay, I mean, I shouldn't complain. It's about what I would hope for on the attack. So they basically let me do an attack by coming at me, so... Makes this is really interesting. They start with almost like a 2-unit buffer, at least in some of the other hexes. And what we're going to see is that they really pulled back significantly from that. Also in the Lipasia area, can't see the name exactly, but I think it's Lipasia. They're just resettling their line. We see a lot of pulling back by Duneberg, and we'll see that as this keeps going. But in the western area, west of Riga, I think that they're mostly just repositioning their line. So there's a little bit of pulling back there, but we'll also see them move back forward towards the end of the turn. So a lot of shifting east in the armed group south, as we expect. They're trying to basically push back from, I don't know, the Hungarian, Czechoslovakian, whatever border. They're shifting east to the Romanian border, which makes sense. And we'll see eventually that they also reconnect with this cutoff division. Okay, more pulling back at Minsk. I mean, look at this, is really significant. How many of them they're just abandoning that line. And I'd like to think that in the places they're abandoning it, first of all, I like to roleplay, and think this is a very natural thing to do. Probably other people do it, and if not, I'd almost encourage it. I like to roleplay at, like, this is a real thing which is happening, and what are, like, the news headlines, or what are the internal conversations going on in the Soviet High Command. You gotta imagine the commander around Minsk is, like, thinking, we have no force density. It's so sparse that we have to pull back. Probably the same thing in Army Group North. Like, they just lost their pocket there. They've lost a couple pockets in Army Group Center. We don't have the troops to man the front around Minsk. Let's pull back. I just like thinking about it that way. Anyway, in Finland, they just advanced a little bit. Actually, I don't really need to show it. It's fine. Yeah, there's their reconnecting with the cut-off divisions. They use their armor, push forward with that. I can give you a spoiler alert, since I have played this twice now, that I will at least attempt to push that armor back and recut them off. Okay, now see, they're actually advancing back forward to man the lines. I think they'll even put somebody in that other hex. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, they're actually pushing forward there. Here's their second movement. So they move this unit up here. They also move this unit forward, closer to Leningrad. Those are the two real advances in the on the Finnish theater. And then, yeah, they continue to pull back by Minsk. And actually this, so now they're on to headquarter movement again, the final headquarter movement. Their theater headquarter actually advanced in range of me. I don't fully understand that. There's their 5th Army pulling back a little bit. 12th Army actually, did they advance or did they? Oh yeah, they pulled back, okay. Yeah, and they're pulling well back, in fact. And then more HQ movement. And that basically should take us to the end of the turn. 11th Army stepped into the city, I don't know why. And the one by Gomel pulled back a little bit further. We got a few more units. Good, let's go. All right, so let's move up to the Finnish front. Let's get this over with as quickly as possible. I think this won't take that much time. Basically, the Finnish front, we can call this mission accomplished. Let's go home. Not really, not exactly, right? So we have a little bit more work to do. We have to at least eliminate these 2 divisions. That won't be too difficult, though. I'm just going to do this attack. We're going to move these guys so they're in position to do the follow-up attack. And then we're also going to shift this force over here. Shift this force north. And basically what we think about when we think about the Vyborg location and the southeastern army headquarters, this truly is like mission accomplished. We've done it. We don't really need to do anything else here. So we're going to withdraw the ones from the Karelian HQ. They're going to move back north. The Karelian HQ itself can move over here, closer to where the current fighting is. And then we're just going to pull these units back. One over here. Let's pull the 64, better combat strength, stands by itself. But we're basically going to make a little bit of a front line, I mean a line. We're going to dig in right outside of Vyborg. I highly doubt that they'll have the means to retake it, but they probably will fill in this gap again. Maybe there'll be another attempt by us. Maybe we can try another encirclement, but if that doesn't happen, we're already content with the way things have gone. So let's do a couple of attacks up here. Spoiler alert, I didn't lose anybody. Okay, wow, we lost infinitely more people this time. So I didn't lose anybody in my attack on the most recent one. I was like very happy, but we lost 400 here. That's just what happens when you have to re-record, you ding-dong Tortuga. I hate re-recording. This is already so far delayed, and I think that you guys all, probably have been very patient, or maybe not, but just anxiously waiting. Who knows? Or you don't even remember. Oh, this was a series, and it pops up in your feed. I don't know. But I can just say for my part that I am sorry it took this long to get out. And these kind of stupid things that happen where you record the wrong thing 2 times is just very frustrating. I mean, they gotta at least make saves at the beginning of every new turn. So let's do a foresight attack on this one and hope for less. I didn't take casualties on either of these. Wow, we took tons of casualties compared to my previous one. But we're gonna live with it. Just accept the fact that, it went worse this time. That's just how it goes sometimes. I don't really need to advance. I have 2 units here. I don't need to advance this 66 combat strength unit in. Even though I kind of would almost rather keep that one there and move this one here. I say that because this 61 is still going to be a 61 next turn, or, maybe slightly higher, but not much higher. And the 66 will be much better, it'll be a much higher combat strength. I'd rather use higher combat strength units against this weaker one. I mean, I do have some people, by the way, I think, or I tell a lie. Yeah, we have... okay, there's absolutely nobody who can do another attack. I thought there would be at least one person. Maybe this one took longer. It was previously, and the last time I recorded this. Yeah, anyways, I mean, good thing is I only went through the Finnish theater, and then... Okay, that was stupid. I mean, I'm going to leave this guy here now. So, that at least prevents them from moving. Doesn't really do anything. I guess what this does is, if they do try to shoot the gap, they won't be able to, because they should only be able to move 2, and this guy will be able to just very easily close off behind, so, swing the door shut. And then we'll eliminate this pocket, we'll have another pocket to eliminate. I mean, I don't think that the AI will do that. They look like they're already kind of depleted, but if they did do that, that's what we would do in response. There's also one other thing I might as well mention, this heroic deeds thing. So this is the one advantage of me having already recorded, is that I went through this confusion, I mean, twice now already. This technically says that there's a heroic deed for the 13th Panzer Division and 1st Panzer Group. We can go down here, that's this unit right here. They're at 79, minus 15. I checked all of them, they're all at 79, minus 15, so nobody already has an existing bonus, at least that I could see. There we go. Now I can accept this one, and it should provide a bonus, right? Well, turns out this is where the 10th Panzer was given an award last time, right? And then we were looking and we saw, I actually can see that the 10th was awarded it, allegedly, at least I thought it was. But in fact, the 3rd Panzer did get its bonus. So you can see a normal Panzer right now would be, we'll get a look at like one, 60 and minus 15. But the 3rd is not 60 and minus 15, it's plus 80 and plus 5, so it's got a 20% bonus to each. But the 10, for some reason, has a 15% bonus to each. So I don't really understand what's going on. But if we accept this, and of course we will, because this is, although it says 13th Panzer Division, which is actually in, yeah, oh no, that one's in 1st Panzer Group. It's only 1 political point because it's in the south. So this is, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. We definitely want to accept it, support the award. I mean, for me, it was something I wanted to do even when it cost the most for Hitler's lowest priority. I'm definitely going to do it when it's only 1 political point. So it doesn't have an immediate effect. See, minus 79, or plus 79, minus 15, but it's still what we want to do, and we'll continue to do those probably at least for the first 10 turns or so, because the permanent bonus is really nice. Okay, let's try to breeze through the Romanian front. Again, take 3. So at least I know what I'm doing this time, although I actually planned, so I should know what I'm doing even the first time. And what we're going to be doing is, in the south, we're going to be finishing off, I mean not finishing off, but at least finishing the encirclement of this pocket. And I want to actually get the 11th Army units to move north. We have 2 down here, they're both valuable somewhere else basically. I think that at this point the 4th Romanian can handle the remains here. We will let the 198th Infantry from the 11th Army do one last attack. 5-sided, huge 315 versus 61, 5-to-1 ratio with this, plus 75% bonus on top of that. So we're just expecting to just slack the heck out of this thing. Take 1 casualty, that's fine with us. Romanian, it's just Romanians, right? 3,600 down, that's good, and their readiness is down to 12. We want all those things to be, I mean, we want to do as much damage as possible because we know that this is we just don't want this hex to be very powerful. They may try to punch out on the next turn. So for that, I want to make sure that the 44 over here goes and reinforces with the 45. And we'll get 1 other individual, this 47 perhaps, to sit over here. Then the 2 48s will stack on this hex together. And now we have everything ready for potentially eliminating this force in the next turn. Well, what I suspect will happen is going to take 2 more turns. But we can probably, after 1 more attack with the 198th, they will also be able to go north, just like what I'm going to do here with the 170th. They're going north of the river. And that's going to be the trend here, is start pushing these guys up. We'll get the 79th to come forward as much as possible, so we'll move them all the way up here. They can't do anything yet, but we'll move the armor up, and as I've done already a few times, we'll do 1 more attack on this guy. We're essentially trying to recut off the divisions which are west of the river. So we can do this attack with the Romanian forces that are still on the opposite side, and then we can bring in our armor. And hopefully this won't have too many casualties. It didn't in the past, but that's about right, I guess. We lost one Panzer, Panzer II, and we lost a few Romanian troops. We actually didn't inflict that many casualties, so I don't know if that was a good exchange, but the actual damage itself was kind of secondary to the fact that we have now re-cut off this group. And this group is mostly weak except for a basically full-strength Soviet motorized division, which is pretty scary. I don't know how we're going to deal with that one exactly. For now, what I'm going to do is just park this 62 across the river, have a 68 here, and then we have our 45 with the armor over there. I'm hoping that this is enough of a defensive circle that, I mean, as we can tell, I'm not going to actually finish this force off this turn. So I'm hoping that that's enough of a defensive circle that these the many divisions which will be here won't be able to break back out. So we've got our 5 sides of surround on this motorized. I think it only makes sense that we do the attack here. This is 420 versus 44 plus 150% bonus. We're hoping that this division actually just breaks. If it shatters, that would be the best. I doubt it will, but as long as we do significant casualties... what is this? Okay, down to readiness of 9, only 2,000 casualties. So, yeah, I mean, I know from my previous 2 attempts doing this battle, that, look, we didn't lose anybody, so that's the good news. But the bad news is we didn't inflict that many casualties, and actually even the readiness only being at 9, considering they started at... I mean, hopefully it would have been even lower than that. But more importantly, just eliminating more troops would have been very, very good there. Because those troops are going to gain a little bit of readiness back on their turn. And then we're going to have to face... I mean, this force is going to be a force to... It's 4 divisions that are not as depleted as I would have hoped. So let's put it that way. We are going to move our other group, one of our other divisions, Romanian divisions, up into the mountains to support the 48 combat strength that's already there. The 13th, I should say. I call them by their combat strength because it's a bigger number, but probably makes more sense for them to call them by the actual division they are. Now the 22nd, Luftlande Infantry, is actually gonna do another attack. We're gonna bring this mountain division over the river. Now we can get 4 sides of a surround on this 9th Cavalry. And the cavalry, for some reason, I find them very elusive. That's probably by design. Okay, not this time, they panicked, and that's gonna help a whole lot, but we actually got 2,800 of them. But I generally find it's very hard to get this many casualties, so that was excellent. Okay, so I mean, we've had a few other battles which didn't go that well as I was hoping, but this one went better than I expected. So we'll take it. It's all going to work out in the wash, right? That's the law of large numbers. How I'd like to play this out. This Romanian army, by the way, we're just going to leave on its own. So you're going to go down here, and I want some assistance there, right? But I can move, yeah, so you are going to move up here. You're going to move here. And I think that's how I want it to be, just like that. So we are really preventing these guys from being pushed back. This 35, it can only be attacked by these 2 units. I don't think that they're going to drive... Like, where would that get them? It would inflict casualties, that's true. But I don't think that there's any benefit to them doing that. They'll basically end up probably cut off themselves. Plus their back is to the river already. I mean, it's very interesting why they're coming down this way. I would have moved north towards Proskuru if I were them, but... Well, this is the situation we're in. I mean, what else is there to say? I think I will keep these guys across the river to be a little bit defensive. That might be overly defensive. My gut can't... I can't make up my mind whether they should be across or not. I highly doubt that people are going to move in here and then do a movement across, but if they did, that would be pretty bad. In fact, I'm already risking it quite a bit by leaving the 3rd Romanian HQ very exposed, but you know what? I kind of don't think that they're going to do anything. Okay, but we better preserve the line. We better preserve... That's our supply line, so we'll stick it out. Okay, then let's do a few other things. I know that I'm going to want to do these kind of movements over here, so move there and then move here. Start pushing up the Lithuanian forces, all part of 17th Army, and because we're going to do this and that, I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 17th headquarter has to go there. That's all we're going to do for this turn, by the way. That's all I had planned. But just to look at some things which are pretty interesting, you can see the Minsk line has fallen back. I highly doubt there's nobody in Minsk. I suspect that there's at least a garrison there, if not also other forces. Our troops that launch themselves way ahead, because they're now out of HQ range, I didn't realize that they would actually have... They have fuel, but they're just... I mean, I don't know why they aren't able to use it. Anyway, I don't know. Apparently they're motorized, but for being... Somehow the penalty they've gotten is they're not able to move very far. It might even be worth me moving back to 10th motorized, but I don't think I'll do that. And these guys can move forward. I think we'll end up being here because of the way I calculate the distance from the Panzer Group headquarters. You'll go as far as you can. But that's kind of a whole interesting thing, is going over to Gomel and the move around behind Mogilev. Is it really worth it? So we'll have more to do with Army Group Center, Army Group North, and really the majority of Army Group South also has to be done. But we'll do it in the next episode because we're basically running out of time. And this one's so long in getting out, I apologize again. So hopefully we'll get it out there that little bit faster so that you don't have to wait for me to do one more theater before it gets launched. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having fun with this one. Again, let me know if you want to contribute your recent playthroughs data to the plot of casualties. And otherwise, I'll catch you back for the next one. Until then, take care.